Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something real. Have you ever sat there staring at your phone, waiting for a text that never comes, wondering why the vibe feels off, why the conversation has turned cold, or why every time you try to get close, she somehow pulls further away? Then the governor about to tell you something most people won't. If you've got to chase her, beg for her attention, or keep proving why you deserve a spot in her life, you're already losing. Here's the cold truth. When a woman is into you, then the government, they want 40. You won't have to wonder. You won't have to decode her messages, and you sure won't have to fight for crumbs of attention. If you've been stuck in that cycle, telling yourself, maybe she's busy, maybe she's confused, maybe if I wait a little longer, she'll see my worth, then this message is your wake-up call, because nothing will drain your confidence, your time, and your peace like chasing someone who has already made their choice. And it wasn't you. Today, I'm going to hand you the clarity and courage you need to finally stop holding on where you're not wanted. Stick with me to the end, and I promise you'll never waste your energy on the wrong person again. When a woman is truly interested in you, there's no mystery about it. She will show it. You won't have to guess. You won't have to second guess, and you sure won't have to chase. One of the clearest signs a woman isn't interested is when you always feel like you're the one, starting the conversations, making the plans, sending the good mornings, and checking in. Let's be honest, relationships are never meant to be a one-person job. If you're the only one trying to build the connection, then that's not a relationship. That's a fantasy you've built inside your head. Now the hard part about this is most guys don't want to face it. They stay in denial. They tell themselves stories like, she's just busy. She's going through something. She's scared to open up. But let me tell you something simple. People make time for who they want to make time for. We live in a world where it takes 2 seconds to send a text, a like, a voice note. If someone can post on social media but can't reply to your message, the truth is they've already made their choice. You're just refusing to see it. I've seen too many good men waste months, even years, waiting around for a woman to change her mind or to finally see their value. But relationships don't work like that. Interest is natural. It's instant. If a woman wants you, she'll let you know. She won't leave you hanging, confused, or drained from trying to figure her out. And let me tell you why this is important. Because your self-respect is on the line. Every time you beg for attention, every time you hold on to hope for someone who doesn't want you, you teach yourself to settle for less than you deserve. You teach yourself to be comfortable with being treated as an option. And that's dangerous, because the more you allow it, the more it becomes your normal. The longer you stay in that space, then the harder it gets to walk away when deep down, you know you should have left a long time ago. And here's another thing love and interest don't hide. A woman who's into you will show up. She'll make space for you in her world. She'll ask about your day. She'll want to hear your voice. She'll want to see you. Not just when it's convenient for her, but because she genuinely cares. It doesn't take begging. It doesn't take proving. It doesn't take waiting for months while she figures herself out. When it's real, you'll know. And when it's not, you'll feel it. But the problem is, many people ignore that feeling. They hold on to the hope that things will change. They remember the 1 or 2 good conversations, the few times she laughed at your jokes, the one sweet text she sent 3 months ago, and they let that one memory blind them to all the days of silence, disinterest, and cold replies. One good moment is not enough to hold together a connection that doesn't exist anymore. So if you find yourself always doing the chasing, always sending double texts, always trying to convince her why she should care, stop. Take a step back and face the truth. If she wanted you, you wouldn't have to force her attention. You wouldn't have to fight for her time. And you wouldn't have to guess how she feels. Then the walking away isn't giving up. Walking away is choosing yourself. It's understanding that your time, your energy, then your love are too valuable to be wasted on someone who doesn't want them. And the moment you do that, the moment you stop chasing the wrong person, you give yourself room to attract the right one. You make space in your life for someone who actually sees you, values you, and wants to be there, without the games, then the government, without the confusion, and without the emotional roller coaster. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Stop chasing. Stop hoping for what's not there. Pay attention to actions, not words. And if she's not showing interest, the smartest and strongest move you can make is to walk away. That's how you protect your heart, and that's how you open the door to real, honest love. When a woman tells you through her words, her actions, or even her silence that she is not ready for a relationship, believe her. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. Don't try to play detective looking for hidden meanings in every little thing she says. Most of the time, what people show you is exactly what they mean, especially when it comes to feelings. If she says she's not ready, or she just got out of something serious, or she's focusing on herself, take that as the truth and not as an invitation to wait around. A lot of men think if they just wait long enough or stay patient, she'll eventually come around. But the truth is, if someone is genuinely interested, they won't want to risk losing you. They won't tell you to sit on the sidelines until they make up their mind or until the timing is better. They'll show up. They'll make space for you in their life. When a woman is truly ready and truly interested, she doesn't want to lose you to someone else while she figures herself out. Sometimes men confuse being kind and understanding with putting themselves in a position where they're taken for granted. You can respect her space, you can understand her situation, but you shouldn't allow yourself to become an emotional placeholder. That's what happens when you sit around waiting for someone who already made it clear they're not ready. You turn into a safety net. You become the person she calls when she's lonely, but not the one she chooses when she's ready for real love. That's not fair to you. And here's the hard part. Sometimes women will be honest about it from the start, and you still won't want to accept it. You'll hear her say, "I'm not looking for anything serious," or "I'm not ready for a relationship right now." And your mind will twist that into, "Maybe she will be ready if I just stick around." You start doing boyfriend things for someone who hasn't agreed to be your girlfriend. You start giving your time, your attention, your heart, and all along she's been honest. You've just chosen to ignore it. You can't force timing. You can't force connection. And you can't build something real with someone who isn't emotionally available or interested. The longer you try, the more you lose pieces of yourself, your confidence, your self-worth, your peace of mind. The government, they want 40, because waiting for someone who's not choosing you leaves you feeling like you're never enough. It makes you start doubting yourself, as if the problem is you. But the problem isn't you. Then the government is trying to build a future with someone who doesn't want the same things as you, at least not with you. When someone tells you they're not ready, believe them the first time, don't think you can change their mind. They don't think if you prove how great you are, they'll wake up one day and suddenly fall for you. Love doesn't work like that. Real love doesn't need convincing. It shows up, and it shows up willingly. And here's the truth. Walking away from someone who's not ready is not being bitter. It's not giving up. It's choosing to respect yourself enough to want more. More than maybe. More than someday. More than I'm not ready. Life is too short to sit around waiting for someone to decide whether you're worth their time. You already are. And when you meet someone who's ready, you won't have to chase them, wait for them, or convince them. It'll be clear. It'll feel easy. It'll feel right. So don't waste years waiting for readiness. Don't settle for half-hearted love. Don't stay in a place where you're hoping someone will finally wake up and see your value. The right person will already see it, and they won't make you wait. They won't leave you confused, and they definitely won't risk losing you. The moment you start listening to the truth people show you, instead of the stories you tell yourself, everything changes. You stop chasing. You stop waiting. You start walking towards something better. Because the person who's ready, the person who truly wants you, won't have you questioning your worth. They'll make it clear. And when that happens, you'll wonder why you ever spent so much time waiting on someone who couldn't see it. One of the biggest signs that she's not interested in you is when you start to notice that you are the only one making the effort. Think about it. Relationships, whether you're still getting to know someone, talking, dating, or deep in love, they are always a two-way street. It should never feel like you are pulling all the weight on your own. If every conversation starts with you, if every date is planned by you, if the only reason you two even talk is because you reached out first, that's not a relationship. That's you chasing someone who doesn't want to be caught. When a woman is interested, her actions will show it. Then you won't have to decode her texts like there's some secret language. You won't have to sit by the phone, then wondering why she hasn't called or why she hasn't answered your last message. She'll show you, without you even asking, that she wants to be around you. People make time for the things that matter to them, and if you matter to her, you'll feel it. You won't have to guess. You won't have to wonder. But when she's not interested, the signs are always there, plain and clear. They just hurt too much to accept, so you try to avoid them. You start making excuses for her. She's just busy. She's not a phone person. Maybe she's going through something. But let me tell you something. Nobody is too busy for someone they care about. Even the busiest woman on earth will find 5 seconds to text, call, or let you know she's thinking about you if she truly wants to. What happens more often is that a woman who's not interested will string you along with just enough breadcrumbs to keep you hoping, but never enough to make it clear that she wants something serious. You'll be the guy who's always available, always ready, always waiting, but she'll only hit you up when it's convenient for her. Maybe when she's bored, lonely, or in between better options. That's not love. That's not even friendship. That's just you allowing yourself to be used. Now, I'm not saying women do this to be cruel. Sometimes they're not even fully aware they're doing it. But you, the man, have to be aware. You've got to be smart enough and strong enough to know when it's time to walk away. Because no matter how much you like her, no matter how good the conversations feel when they happen, or how great the chemistry is when you're together, if you are always the only one doing the work, you are not in a relationship, You are in a fantasy. A woman who is interested will meet you halfway. Simple as that. You won't have to beg for her time. You won't have to remind her you exist. Then you won't have to wait weeks for a reply while she's posting on social media or hanging out with other people. When you matter to her, she will make space for you in her life, no matter what else is going on. And if you're not seeing that, if it always feels like you're the one chasing, planning, calling, texting, showing up, it's time to wake up. The truth is, then the longer you chase someone who doesn't want you, the longer you block your chance of meeting someone who does. You hold the door open for the wrong person, while the right one might be standing there waiting to walk into your life. If only you would let go of the one who's clearly not choosing you. So don't settle for being second in someone's life, or a backup plan, or a temporary distraction. You are not a placeholder. You are not someone's maybe. You are worth someone's absolutely. And you'll know the difference the moment you stop chasing people who make you feel like you have to prove your worth. When you finally stand up for yourself, when you stop making excuses for someone who shows you they aren't interested, your whole world changes. You start attracting people who see you, who value you, and who make the same kind of effort you're willing to make. But it all starts with recognizing the truth. If you're the only one putting in effort, it's time to walk away. Because the right person won't let you feel alone while you're still in the relationship. The right person will meet you halfway every time. One of the strongest ways to tell if a woman is not interested in you is by paying attention to how much respect she shows you. Now listen closely, because this right here is where a lot of people mess up. Respect isn't about whether she's polite to you or whether she smiles at you now and then. Respect is shown through the little choices, the daily actions, and the way she treats you even when you're not around. If she doesn't respect your time, your feelings, or your presence, that's the loudest message you'll ever get. And you've got to hear it. Let me break this down for you in a way that's simple to understand. If you're the one doing all the calling, all the texting, all the chasing, and she barely gives you the time of day, that's not just a lack of effort, that's a lack of respect. If you invite her out and she always has an excuse, I'm busy, maybe another time, I forgot, over and over again, but you see her making time for her friends, her family, and even other guys, that's her way of showing you that you are not on her priority list. And when someone doesn't respect your time, they don't respect you, period. A woman who respects you will value your energy, your attention, and your feelings. She won't leave you hanging, wondering if you're good enough or waiting days for a reply. She won't ignore your calls and expect you to keep coming back, hoping she'll change her mind. But the problem is, so many people are scared to walk away. They stay stuck in the hope that if they hang in there long enough, the other person will wake up one day and finally see their worth. But that almost never happens, because respect is the foundation of everything. If it's not there from the start, it's not going to magically show up later. Now let's talk about another piece of this. Sometimes, when a woman doesn't respect you, she'll also test you. She might cancel on you at the last minute, break promises, or even flirt with other people right in front of you just to see what you'll do. If you let it slide, if you make excuses for her, if you act like it doesn't bother you, then the government they're doing is teaching her how little she has to give in order to keep you around. You're teaching her that you'll accept the bare minimum or even less, and that's exactly what she'll keep giving you. Then the government, when a woman respects you, she won't put you through that. She'll show you through her actions that your time and attention means something to her. She won't take you for granted. She won't treat you like a backup plan or an option. She will treat you like a priority, because that's what people do when they value someone. So if you are getting the opposite treatment, if you feel ignored, disrespected, or used, you already have your answer. She's not interested. And the smartest thing you can do is walk away. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you gave up too soon. It means you finally respect yourself enough to stop chasing after someone who isn't giving you the same kind of respect in return. The moment you start respecting yourself, you change the entire game. You stop begging for crumbs and start demanding the full meal. You stop waiting on someone else to choose you, and you start choosing yourself. And here's the truth: the right woman, the one who actually deserves your time, your loyalty, and your heart, will never make you feel like an afterthought. She will never leave you wondering if you matter. She will show you every single day, through the way she talks to you, the way she treats you, and the way she shows up for you. Respect is not optional in a healthy relationship. It's the foundation. So if you're sitting there, second guessing yourself, wondering why she seems so distant, why the conversations are dry, why the plans always fall through, and why you always feel like you're giving 90% while she gives 10% or less, the answer is simple. She doesn't respect you, and that means she's not interested. Don't wait for her to spell it out. Don't stick around hoping she'll change. Save yourself the time, the energy, and the heartbreak. Walk away now and make room for the person who will treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Because once you do that, then you'll never settle for less again. When a woman is not interested in you, the way she communicates with you often speaks volumes. If she's not taking the time to check in with you, to listen to what you have to say, or to engage in conversations that make you feel valued, it's a clear indicator that she's emotionally disconnected. Communication is the foundation of any relationship, and when that foundation is weak or non-existent, it's a sign that she doesn't prioritize you. A woman who is interested in you in the early stages, or even once the relationship is established, will make an effort to stay connected. She'll want to talk to you about her day, her thoughts, her experiences. She'll ask about yours. There's a natural flow of back and forth, and it's not forced, it's genuine. But when she's pulling away, she won't take the time to ask about your day or show concern when things aren't going right for you. When you call her or send a message, her replies are short, delayed, or sometimes not even acknowledged. If she does respond, it often feels distant or disinterested. This lack of communication is something that can't be ignored. You may think that it's just a phase or that she's simply busy, but the reality is that if someone truly cares about you, they will make time for you, no matter how busy their life might get. A simple text or phone call can go a long way, but when she's pulling away, she might start using excuses like, "I've been really busy," or "I don't have time right now." These are signs that you're not a priority in her life. Then the government, no matter how much you want to convince yourself otherwise, these signs are her telling you where you stand. It's also important to notice the level of effort she's putting into maintaining the connection. If she's not initiating anything, and if you're always the one to reach out, plan things, or try to engage, you're doing all the work. Relationships require effort from both sides, And when it's one-sided, it's unfair to you. A relationship can't thrive if only one person is emotionally invested. When a woman is interested, she's actively trying to get to know you better, engage with you, and share her thoughts and feelings. But if she's distant, it's a signal that she may no longer be emotionally available to you, even if she hasn't directly told you. Sometimes the signs are subtle. She might start to pull back emotionally, withhold personal details, or not make an effort to stay connected. When this happens, it's time to step back and take notice. There's only so long you can chase someone before you realize that they're not interested in pursuing the relationship. The longer you stay in that space, the more you're going to hurt yourself. And the truth is, if you keep chasing after someone who isn't giving you the same energy in return, then you'll only continue to feel rejected and undervalued. It's time to stop pouring into something that isn't flowing back into you. But here's the thing, it's not about giving up on love or thinking that she's the only woman out there who could be right for you. It's about recognizing your own worth. When she's not reciprocating the communication and effort you're putting into the relationship, it's a clear sign that you're not getting what you need. So instead of staying in a situation that leaves you feeling empty or unimportant, it's time to walk away with your head held high. Respect yourself enough to stop begging for attention and to move on. Once you make the decision to step away, it will be easier for you to realize that there's someone out there who will treat you the way you deserve to be treated. You'll find someone who values your time, who listens to what you say, and who wants to build a meaningful connection. You'll stop feeling like you're always chasing after something that's never going to be a match. In the end, communication is everything. When she's not communicating with you in the way that shows she values you, it's time to make the tough decision and walk away. There's no need to waste time holding on to someone who isn't investing the same energy into you. Once you do, you'll create space for a relationship that's built on mutual respect, love, and communication. And that's something worth fighting for. When you realize that a woman is not interested in you, one of the most powerful things you can do is simply walk away. It may feel hard in the moment, especially if you have invested time and energy into the relationship, but accepting this reality is the first step towards moving on and finding someone who truly values you. This is about protecting your emotional well-being and taking control of your life. It's easy to become attached to someone who seems to show promise or potential, but if her actions are consistently telling you that she's not interested, the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to let go. The first thing you have to understand is that walking away doesn't make you weak or incapable of love. It's an act of strength. Recognizing when something is not working is one of the most mature decisions you can make. It means you're aware of your worth and you're not willing to settle for less than you deserve. Too often, we hold on to situations that are not aligned with our needs, whether it's out of hope, fear of being alone, or the mistaken belief that we can change someone's feelings. But here's the thing, you cannot force someone to care for you in the way that you want or need. You can't create mutual feelings where there are none. When she's not showing the same level of interest that you are putting into the relationship, this isn't just a sign that she's not ready for commitment. It's a clear message that she doesn't value you the way you deserve to be valued. It's one thing if someone is going through a tough time and they temporarily pull away. But when this becomes a pattern, It's a red flag. If she's pulling away emotionally, showing little interest in your life, or avoiding meaningful conversations, it's time to face the truth. These signs are not coincidences. They are the reality of the situation. If she wanted to make things work, she would have made the effort. And by continuing to stay in that space, you're only prolonging your own pain. Another key factor to consider is that by walking away, you also give yourself the space to heal. When you're constantly chasing after someone who is emotionally distant, you're left feeling drained and unfulfilled. You keep hoping for change, and with each failed attempt, the disappointment adds up. Then the walking away doesn't just signify that you're moving on from her, but that you're moving on to better things. You're not just letting go of the relationship, you're creating room for your own growth and future happiness. Then the government, every time you try to force a connection with someone who isn't putting in the same effort, you're holding yourself back from experiencing the potential that exists elsewhere. Letting go also allows you to regain your self-respect. It's easy to lose yourself in a relationship where you're constantly trying to prove your worth to someone who isn't seeing it. When you walk away, you are affirming to yourself that you are enough just as you are, and you deserve to be with someone who recognizes and appreciates that. This process of walking away is empowering because it allows you to reset your boundaries. It's a reminder that your value isn't tied to someone's attention or affection. It comes from within you. Once you've walked away, you create the opportunity to shift your focus inward. You have the chance to rediscover who you are outside of the context of the relationship. This is a time for self-reflection, growth, and healing. It's an opportunity to reconnect with your own passions, interests, then the goals, without being distracted by the emotional weight of a relationship that isn't working. You start to recognize that your happiness doesn't depend on another person's approval or attention. Instead, it comes from your own ability to create a fulfilling life. Additionally, then walking away opens up space for you to meet someone who is genuinely interested in building a meaningful connection. Someone who wants to invest time, effort, and energy into making a relationship work. There's no need to settle for half-hearted affection or superficial attention. You deserve to be with someone who is excited to be with you and shows it through their actions. When you let go of someone who isn't showing the same level of care, you free yourself to find a relationship that is based on mutual respect, understanding, and genuine love. In the end, walking away is a sign of self-love. It's not about giving up. It's about knowing when to move on and make room for better things. It's about understanding that your happiness, peace of mind, and emotional health are worth more than a relationship that's dragging you down. So, when she shows signs that she's not interested, it's okay to walk away. In doing so, you're choosing yourself, and that is the most important choice you can make.